Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Thunder Today YouTube channel. I am your host, Dylan Hibbard, and in today's video is the big topic of Chet Holmgren signing his rookie extension. We're going to get into that, give you all the details, everything you need to know about that. Also came out that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander will be the NBA 2K cover athlete. We'll kind of talk about that a little bit, and then we have our summer league game to go over first off, and we'll just jump into that right away as the Thunder played the Utah Jazz and lost 86-82 in summer league. And this was another game where Topic kind of struggled. He only had 7 points. He went 0 for 5 from 3 today, or again from 3. So this is another one of those things where you see a guy who is so young and is trying to get back into the groove of things, especially after not being able to play actual basketball games in over a year because of his injury. We're seeing that kind of come back and kind of get your bumps of up and down along the way. Obviously, the first game, Topic goes out there, drops 14, 4 and 4. And then these past two games, he's gone a combined 0 for 11, I believe, from 3. So we're seeing those early struggles. Luckily, this is summer league. It doesn't really matter as much. This is just for Topic getting shots up, getting kind of in the groove of how the Thunder run things and get just his feet under him so he can get that action and get those minutes played in for when the season actually comes about. Because come season time, especially after this Chet extension, we're going to be looking at how the Thunder can continue to recycle players and reuse and redraft. So Topic is a big key in possibly being that guy who steps in after a Wallace or Caruso has to leave because of money and Wallace wants more money, and you can just slide in guys like a Topic right in there, right into that backup point guard slot, and it keeps you from going into that second apron territory where so many teams and what people are worried about with the Thunder might happen. But luckily, I think Sam Presti has kind of a formula put together, and we'll kind of dive into that a bit later. But once again, I think Topic, it's just a thing of you're not going to see it. Topic isn't going to be consistent in this summer league. He's going to try to get his shots up. We're just trying to see what Topic is made of. And I mean, if you want to talk about somebody making something, we should talk about AJ Mitchell. AJ Mitchell, in the 3 summer league games so far, it feels like he's scoring 20 every single game. In this game, he had another 18, 8 and 5 in this game. So you just look at it from the fact, I think AJ Mitchell will instantly slide into our bench unit starting next year, and I think he gets big minutes right away. I think from what he's proven, you look at the fact of before he was injured last year, he was making a big impact, and now he's in summer league and just absolutely dominating these guys, putting up stats. So I think for the Thunder, they see him as that backup guard, one of the 3 or 4 backup guards that they want to use, and I think Mitchell can definitely earn himself into that slot of where Topic could be a few years down the line, where those two are the ones running backup point guard minutes, or even one of them possibly starting at the shooting guard slot. We don't know what the team's going to look like even 2 or 3 years from now, because there's so many fluctuating contracts and extensions going on. The big key is just keeping your core together and being able to recycle these guys like AJ Mitchell, like Topic, hopefully eventually like your Jay Will and your Thomas Sorber for guys like Hartenstein, where you just continually rotate players and you just get them in. But just to go back, I think Mitchell has done an amazing job so far just scoring the basketball. In summer league, he's able to pass. We're seeing his playmaking kind of take that next step in this. So I think it's something to just kind of, summer league's been good for AJ Mitchell, and it's kind of been the opposite for Topic. Topic was good, and now he's got to kind of come back down to earth. So we'll see if they're able to bounce back. I think they have today off, and then they play tomorrow. So we'll kind of see how the Thunder approach things from there. But the big topic of today is that Chet Holmgren signed a 5-year, up to nearly $250 million a lot of that extra millions at the end is incentives with possibly, there's no confirmed on it, but we're assuming it has to do with probably making all defensive team, maybe winning a DPOY down the line here in a few years, maybe making an all-star, stuff like that. That's normally what incentives mean to earn that all the way up to that 250. The big thing about this is what kind of stuck out to people, and especially me right away. This is the most they were allowed to give out. So they gave the most out to Chet. And I said in yesterday's video, I always thought Chet would be the one to kind of leave and take the more money. But the fact that they gave Chet the extension first. As of recording this video, J-Dub has still not extended. But there's been reports that they are making works into getting that done. So I'm assuming by the time this video comes out, I would hope the J-Dub extension is official as well, and it should be right around the same. So for that, that means J-Dub, Chet, and Shai all starting next year will all be making nearly, if not more than, $50 million. So you're looking at that from just your big three making $150 million next year. So this is where it comes into the part of, you have guys like Hartenstein who's going to make $27 million. You're going to have to get rid of that, or you're going to be so over the first apron. That's how teams now with the new CBA are messing up, like the Celtics. They go and sign all these guys and put them on extensions until they're $100 million over the second apron. They don't have any more draft picks. They don't have mid-level exceptions to sign the offseason, and now you have these aging stars where in the Thunder, you extend these guys now throughout their whole prime, and then you get your rotational players filled in with your veterans of Caruso and Hartenstein, and then you get the young guys that you've been drafting like Wallace, Wiggins. You get Joe off of just free agent, and you get Lou Dort not even getting drafted. The Thunder have learned how to turn those aging veterans and those expiring deals into first-round picks, where they then in turn turn those first-round picks into more high-quality role players. And I think that's exactly what the Thunder are going to have to do. You're going to have to get off of the Hartenstein contract. I think I think you only see Hartenstein this next year. You're going to have to get off of most likely either one of Joe or Wiggins. Most likely going to see Joe get traded. I think Kenrich, you're going to see get moved. Usman Jenkins, those rotational pieces that make closer to that $10 million range will be the ones that have to get traded, compared to these rookie level deals like your Wallace who's still making very minimal, and you can go out there and he's going to give you big time minutes for on the low. So once we get this J-Dub extension, and we'll know more about what the Thunder's future cap space looks like, and we can talk about that more in another video. But just the fact of now I saw somebody on Twitter say now that the Thunder this is without the J-Dub deal and Chet making $50 million next year. With that in mind, next year the Thunder are still $13 million under the second apron. They're over the first apron. This is next year. They'll be over the first apron, but still be about $13 million under the second apron, which is the big one, which is pretty much takes away all your picks, all your cash to spend, all of that. So it pretty much sets you at your roster in hand. But if you're $13 million, you still have team options of Hartenstein, Kenrich, and I want to say, I can't remember the other name, but three guys you have on team options. Hartenstein's team option is $27 million. I just don't see a scenario where the Thunder are wanting to have these three contracts be up to $150 or however it might be, and then go pay Hartenstein nearly $30 million. That's just going to cause problems. That's why I think they were so big on drafting Thomas Sorber. I think if you can get a whole year under Sorber, kind of learning from Chet and Hartenstein, especially Hartenstein, the way they play, you can have Hartenstein leave and just have Sorber step right into that. I don't know if they would have him start or if they would move Chet back to the 5 and maybe go have somebody out there and maybe start Caruso at the 2, who knows. But it's just something now that the Thunder have made this, and it's kind of shocking that they're paying Chet $50 million. I thought out of the two, J-Dub would be the one to get the absolute max because he had the all NBA selection, all defensive team selection, had 40 points in an NBA Finals game. So my guess is they're both going to get right around the same. I would be I would be really shocked if J-Dub got a lot less than Chet. I think J-Dub has rightfully so earned that. I mean, now that we're paying Chet $50 million, I mean, who knows? So we'll just kind of have to pay attention as these things develop, and we'll obviously talk more about this as the offseason goes along because we still have quite a bit of the offseason ahead. And then lastly, less important topic, but still a fun one if you guys are into 2K or video games or something like that. Shai got officially announced as the 2K26 cover athlete. One thing, unfortunately for me, when I saw this cover was the fact of 2K just does not put effort into their covers anymore. You go back to like 2016, 17, those ages, the covers were so cool. You would put your posters up. And now the one that got shown yesterday, it's just Shai in like a dribbling position, and it's just the crowd and players around him, and it doesn't really have much detail, which kind of sucks because cover athletes for video games or like video game covers are meant to be so cool. It's meant to show how cool or how fun the game might be, and just to have a boring cover over the past few years kind of sucks. So it's still cool for Shai to have that 2K cover athlete next to his name. I'm assuming cover athletes get a certain amount of money for that. So for Shai, this is just ending an all-time year. I mean, we can just, every time we talk about it, we just go through a list of things, and it feels like every time we bring it up, just more and more stuff is being added. So for Thunder fans, just don't take this for granted. I mean, you look at him and you look at Shai and having one of the best seasons since Michael Jordan from a guard is, I mean, it's uncharted territory. I mean, you're only talking about one of the GOATs or two best players of all time. So just something to kind of I just wanted to let you guys know if you're into video games and you didn't for some reason know, Shai was announced as the 2K cover athlete, his first of his career, obviously. But that'll be it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys are thinking about the Summer League team. If you like Mitchell, if you are having your questions about Topic, what do you think about this Chet extension? How do you think that's going to play out with the new CBA rules, and what you guys think the Thunder need to do to stay below that second apron? But that'll be it for me today, guys. I will see you in the next one. Peace.